Many of us are more anxious than ever before, and for some of us, we're experiencing real anxiety for the very first time. And a big part of that is anxiety feeds anxiety. And right now, the whole world is perpetuating that feeling. And it also helps to explain why some people at the start of this crisis hoarded 3,000 toilet rolls. And that's because when anxiety slips into panic mode, our brains become so overloaded cognitively that it makes it more difficult to make common sense decisions, like I'm never going to use 3,000 loo rolls. Now, many of us associate anxiety simply with panic attacks, and that's wrong. Panic attacks are an end result of anxiety over a long period of time, or they result from a sudden and very severe onset of anxiety. There are many other subtle symptoms that you may not be aware of. For instance, anxiety can give you a general feeling of restlessness or nervousness. It can even make you feel tense or just give you a feeling that something bad is going to happen. In fact, it can affect your ability to concentrate, make you generally feel weak, or even just tired. Now, we're all used to anxiety being there in everyday life. It's there when we sit exams, it's there when we try something new, it's designed to help ready us for action, but it's also designed to help protect us as well. So for instance, if you were to bump into a saber-toothed tiger, granted, doesn't happen very often now, that same pathway releases adrenaline that's designed to get your body ready to fight for its life or to run for its life. But when adrenaline is released in low amounts over long periods of time, we start to get the symptoms of generalized anxiety. And it's very closely linked to the stress hormones. As stress hormones increase, adrenaline increases as well. So that means if you can manage and control your stress and ultimately de-stress, you'll start to reduce the stress hormones, and with it, your anxiety will reduce as well. But it's also important to manage our anxiety directly because it can have a big impact on our life. It can affect job performance, it can affect schoolwork and our relationships, and unmanaged, it can escalate into full-blown panic attacks. And with many changes on the horizon, that is a very real possibility for many of us. So what can you do? Well, the first thing you can do is learn to manage your stress. By taking that stress level down, you're also going to decrease your anxiety as well. So make sure you're taking time out to do things that you enjoy. And by all means, go and check out my other videos on stress management. And the other thing you can do to help manage that stress is reframe how you look at isolation, changing it from a negative to a positive. And I've got a video on that you can find at prescriptionhypnosis.com. Number 3, practice mindfulness and relax. Mindfulness helps bring your thinking into the present to help you focus on the things that you can control rather than spiraling out of control about the things that you can't. And it'll also help you to relax. And if you need to sit back, relax and de-stress a little further, you can download a relaxation session here. Number 4, knowledge is power. And people who are informed are less likely to be stressed and anxious. And right now, we're so overstimulated with news and misinformation that it's perpetuating that fear of the unknown. So the best thing you can do is limit yourself to looking at the news just once a day and making sure you use trusted and reputable sources, not getting your news from Facebook. And number 5, if you are feeling stressed and anxious, avoid drugs and alcohol. Not only will it make the problem worse now, it'll also make it much worse in the future as well. So that's it. If you want to master your anxiety, make sure you're managing your stress, taking time out to relax, and more importantly, facing your anxieties face on. That way you'll be much more prepared for the future.